Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am sharing with you part of my retrograde series. We are talking about Pluto retrograde and what this means for your twin flame relationship. Watch this video. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're looking for more help on your spiritual awakening journey, if you're looking for more help on your twin flame journey or just relationships in general, check the links in the description below because literally we have so many resources for you, from working with us one-on-one to our new relationship repair course. That's a 7-week course. Literally everything you can possibly imagine on attracting your twin flame, on bringing in your soul family, on literally healing generational wounds, karma, narcissistic and codependent relationships. Everything is in there. So check that out if you're looking for something helpful during these times. It's made literally to bring you out of that dark place and to bring you back home to your true divine sovereign self. So today we are talking about Pluto retrograde. So if you guys don't already know, I'm going to check my notes. Pluto retrograde is stationed retrograde from May 1st to October 11th. So not too much longer here, but till October 11th, we have Pluto retrograde. And if you guys follow along with astrology, just a quick side note, I am not an astrologer. This is not my place, but I do tune into the archetypes and the lessons that are coming up during this time. And part of the reason I'm making these retrograde series is because I think it's super important to shed the idea that when retrogrades happen, we kind of lose all agency in our own lives. And that is not true. It's actually an opportunity to level up and to integrate lessons and to, bloom and blossom. So these are actually really beautiful times. And when they can seem quite chaotic or unplanned, or, I'm a girl that loves a plan. So, when I'm saying this, it's because I'm also doing the work around this, right? So when these times come and they feel chaotic, they feel like we don't have control, these videos are really here to help support you and let you be your own story writer, be your own hero in your own story. So that's what these videos are for. So today we're talking about Pluto. Pluto is the underworld, right? The god of the underworld. Everything dark, mysterious, shadows, all of that kind of stuff. So when we think about Pluto and our twin, we might see a lot of dark elements coming up in our twin. You might see more kind of the sadistic side of your twin, or you might see more of the violent or the vulgar side of your twin. And this is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Of course, disclaimer, if you notice toxic behavior, you know what you need to do with that. But this is not what we're talking about. We're in this realm with Pluto. We're talking more about the mystery and the veil, right? And seeing things clearly, or seeing the shadow side of things, right? So this is a really interesting one when it comes to our relationships with our twins, because of the fact that our twins already have this way of showing us their lightest light and their darkest dark, right? So a lot of people would be like, whoa, I saw this really intense side of my twin, and it was really scary. And I remember when I first met my twin, the dark side I saw of him was this potential for this kind of creepy stalker vibe. I've never seen the show You, but I imagine that's kind of the vibe my twin would be in if it was his darkest side, right? And if you've ever seen the show also Community, The Darkest Timeline. So there might be things like this coming up for you guys right now, where you're seeing these shadow dark side of your twin. And this is really important because so many times in our twin flame dynamic, we have the ability to put this person on a pedestal, right? We put them on a pedestal. We say, this is the most amazing divine person I've ever met in my entire life. And I would do anything for them, be anything for them. I will die for them. I would, on and on and on and on. And so Pluto is asking us to take a second look and to say, yes, they might be all the way up here, but they are also all the way down here. And there's actually a quote about this that I really like, which is, a tree's roots that reach to heaven will also reach to hell. And this is honestly the balance of being human. This is the polarity of being human. You can't rise to your highest heights without knowing your darkest and lowest lows. And so Pluto is not necessarily bad, right? We tend to look at these planets and these places and the underworld as if it were bad. But Trevor Hall, one of my favorite artists, likes to talk about the fruitful darkness. And that's what Pluto retrograde really is. It's the fruitful darkness, right? It's everything that comes from that place of shadow, of dark, of subconscious and unconscious, right? So during this time, look at where those subconscious and unconscious shadow sides are lurking, right? Where are the fears playing at the back of your mind? Where are you feeling stuck, right? And that's going to show you something about what's subconscious and what darkness you have within yourself. Now, that's the other thing to keep in mind. If you are somebody in this Pluto retrograde that you are seeing these darker sides of your twin, we have to mirror that back on ourselves and ask, what sides of myself am I not willing to accept, right? What darkness are they showing me about myself? Because if I'm seeing something in somebody else, it is only because I also have the same within me. So if you're seeing somebody as toxic, where am I also toxic and not acknowledging it? Where am I denying my own toxicity, right? And shadow work is all about owning and bringing light to the darkness, right? If there was no darkness, we wouldn't be able to bring light to it. So Pluto is about this alchemy, right? About honoring that darkness, about going to that place and coming back out a hero, right? If you think about the movie Hercules, okay? So Hercules goes to the underworld to fetch the love of his life, Meg, right? And so he goes to the underworld with the risk that he may never resurface, right? He may never come back. He has to be so strong in order to go to the darkest place and come back out. And that's when he really truly becomes a hero, right? So what is it in your darkness that is keeping you from being your own hero? And what is that? Because what he finds in the dark, what he finds in the underworld is love, right? It's pure unconditional love. So when you go to your darkness, when you go to your twin's darkness, when you see this darkness, this toxicity between the two of you, what is it that you can bring love and light to in order to transform it, in order to become the victor, not the victim? So we are also going to be pulling a card for this Pluto retrograde with the intention that we are asking Pluto, what do we need to know? So this is from my own card deck that I have created with my own medicine in here. And so we're asking Pluto, what is it that we need to know in order to alchemize and work with the Pluto retrograde energy between me and my twin? What is it that we need to know? How do we work with this energy? Okay. Changing tides. So we can see kind of all the waves going on there, the water, right? And then the bright light at the horizon, right? So changing tides is all about the idea that it's not always going to be this way, right? Just as the tides change, they follow a cycle. Pluto retrograde also follows a cycle, right? So know that if you are in the dark right now, if you are in the dark with your twin, as in you're not having any contact with them, you feel really disconnected, you're seeing the darkness in them, maybe you're having a lot of toxic thoughts yourself, maybe you're feeling a lot of fear, just know that that will come to an end, right? This too shall pass. So Pluto is asking you in this time, the same way when we're in a storm, we're out on the open ocean and we're holding on to that ship for dear life, at some point that is going to end. So right now, the alchemy here is just to hang on for the ride. It's not to plunge any darker. It's not to try and swim against the current. It's to just use the awareness that this will pass, and to use that alchemy of knowing that this is a temporary experience, right? That this darkness that you see in them or in yourself, or this fear that's coming up, is a temporary experience, and it will also pass. So that is the alchemy that Pluto wants you to listen to. Is it's okay to go to your depths, to go into the darkness, because this will also pass. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, comment down below. How are you doing? What have you been noticing coming up with your twin? What have you been noticing coming up in your life in general? Comment below, let us know what's going on for you. If you have any questions, of course, always put them down there and we will try to answer them the best that we can. And thank you so much for sharing your time and your experience with us. If you're looking for more resources, look down below, you know where to find me, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for joining us. Big love, Serena.